Okay, guys, let's go through some of the stories that have caught my eye but likely won't be on the BBC anytime soon. Naturally, the media are loving Dominic Cummings right now, despite them spending weeks screaming about him being the devil last year and even up until now. I would say it's amazing how quick they've started sucking his meat, but in all honesty, I know the media love to flip-flop even more than politicians do. But I've got to say his evidence against Boris is not even really that special. It's nothing we didn't already know before, let's be honest. Now, during it, he did take a big dig at Boris Johnson's eco-warrior spunk trumpet Carrie Symonds, which was pretty funny, but realistically, who actually cares? Yes, he claimed our actions could be illegal, but nothing will come of it, just like his comments about Matt Hancock. As we all know, he should be sacked and long ago, but it's not going to happen, not at least for another 6 months if you ask me. On top of that, we also had Lord Sumption calling out Cummins for the authoritarian that he's shown himself to be. I actually have to agree with Sumption here. This was my first thought when I was actually listening to Dominic Cummings yesterday. Next up, though, we have Spain searching for a bunch of jihadis who have crossed during the mass influx that they had last week, which obviously means they're on their way here via war-torn France to be picked up by the border fast. Give it a week or two, these boat wankers will be in hotels down the road from you, meeting up with their mates the government let in previously. And if any of them commit their crimes, then you can be sure Sadiq Khan will say it's just part and parcel of living in a big city, while Naz Shah tells us all to shut up for the sake of diversity, especially if it relates to grooming gangs. Up next, we've got a variant, or should I say talk of one. I will call this one the Super Olympic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle variant, because apparently a top medic in Japan is claiming that there could be an Olympic variant, which is not surprising in the slightest at this point. It actually rains variants like you take a piss in 2021. Next up, though, we have Sasha Johnson, the race-baiting activist who headbutted a mostly peaceful 9mm bullet the other day, or should we say an update on the shooting itself. Reports are now suggesting that 5 guys have been arrested, and since the headlines are not screaming about it being 5 white guys targeting her for political reasons, it's safe to say we was all correct from the start. And yet again, Diane Aberpotamus was flat wrong in her attempts at race baiting the other day. This actually explains, like I said, why the media are focused on Dominic Cummings, because his evidence would have been ignored no doubt if this had been something more. Now, moving on from that, we actually have Angela Rayner being called out for her newfound love of Dominic Cummings, which, like I said, is something a lot of people who hated him seem to be doing now. Naturally, though, the public remembers their 3-week marathon obsession with Dominic Cummings last year, so I've gone on to call out this dopey trout for her bullshit which the Express have picked up on. I do have to say, though, this is true for many Labour MPs and even the Tories at this point, which I have to say I actually love. The more MPs that show themselves to be flip-flopping scum, the better is the way I see it. But guys, that's going to be the end of this quick update I've got for you today. Remember, my website is linked down below, so check it out if you have not already. And if you have, then you know you're already a legend.